happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to see this one. So we got that mean girl Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett meeting her match, finally getting a dose of her own medicine. So we got Jennings absolutely annihilating her live on CNN. I'm excited to get into this one, guys. We're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, guys. Check this one out.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
How the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much. Because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become. An angry mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla.
And I think Jennings may be on to something where he's telling these loonies on the left they need to double down or amplify their efforts to push these insane narratives. Because we all know what it's going to lead to. It's going to further drive folks away from the Democratic Party, ultimately leading to their demise, that they won't be having any wins to come anytime in the future. I can say with this road that they're taking, it's not happening.
It's pathetic. No lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making unfair jokes and people are roaring. When you have politicians being vulgar and saying what's the lesson? What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
First of all, have you met MAGA? Have you been to a MAGA rally where Trump is mocking a disabled journalist or a POW? Or saying we should punch him out. I mean,
show me it. Show me the clip, and then I'll say, okay, maybe. But you're telling me that this is Trump. You're telling me this is Trump's fault. Once again, the Dems back at it again, blame shifting. Everything they do, if they've done something wrong, Trump's done it worse, and we should really be looking at what Donald Trump's done in the past instead of looking at the fact that Jasmine Crockett is an out of her mind Congresswoman who is slamming down on a disabled man in a wheelchair, trying to make fun of him. I mean, that is just typical bully behavior. We cannot accept the excuse saying that Donald Trump's done it, so it's okay. No, it's 2 wrongs definitely don't make it right, and I promise you Donald Trump has never done that. Anything of the sort, or else it would have been blasted all over a legacy in the lamestream media. Give me a break.
POW or saying we should punch him out. I mean, it is rich. And let me tell you, I have been very, very out there on criticizing Trump for that disgusting rhetoric that has coarsened the language around politics. It's gross. He's why we got here. And what she did was disgusting.
He's why we got here.
And I am not going to accept her spin of this. It's disgusting and gross to mock someone who is disabled just because you don't like them. And if Democrats, this is your idea, this is what your party's going to do now, is do Trump, but gross, but worse, and then pretend it's not. I'm not here for this, and please do better. Please, this cannot be the answer for the future of the Democratic Party.
I mean, I think actions speak louder than words. And in this instance, I think we have a president who, when the plane crash happened in Washington, D.C., he blamed it on people with disabilities. When RFK says that autism is a threat to the American way of life, which is a disability. Apparently, the White House has ended ASL, American Sign Language interpreters, in briefings, which is making it inaccessible. Questioning and gutting Social Security, which a lot of disabled people rely on, Medicaid.
Now she's just lying. Question and gutting. Social Security and Medicaid is not happening. Donald Trump hasn't touched it. Allison, I don't know what's going on in your head. I know what's going on in your head. They're trying to push this idea, this narrative that it's Donald Trump's fault. And they need to give it a break because it's not even making sense how you're trying to put or push the blame on Donald Trump and say what Donald Trump is doing is far worse than what Jasmine Crockett could have said up there. She blatantly just made fun of and bullied a man in a wheelchair. I mean, come on. There's a special spot for folks like that.
Medicare, people rely on. And in his first campaign, mocking disability. Two wrongs don't make a right, but actions speak louder than words. And the policies of the Republican, including undermining special education, ID, the Individuals with Disability and Education Act, making sure that schools are not going to be accessible. Those are the actions of this administration. Those are the actions of the Republican Party. I would rather folks be demonizing those things than...
But to be clear, you don't agree with what she said, right?
Well, her explanation was that she wasn't referring to that policy.
So you buy that?
But here's the thing. If you make fun of somebody because of their disability, I do not agree with that. As a person with a disability, as a person who has family members with a disability, as a person who has taught children with a disability, that is not acceptable. She said that's not what she was doing, and so I know Jasmine, and I believe Jasmine if that's what she was saying.
Hold on, did she just really say that?
That's not what she was doing, and so I know Jasmine, and I believe Jasmine if that's what she was saying.
Okay, I just had to make sure I was hearing her correctly. So she's doubling down, she's in support of Jasmine Crockett, saying that that's not what she meant by Governor Hot Wheels. Okay, yeah, okay, and that right there shows you how full of it those folks on the left... And this further shows you how full of it these folks on the left truly are. I mean, what do you mean? You know Jasmine, so if she says she didn't mean it, she didn't mean it. These are the mean girls. Like, stop.
Well, I don't know her yet. And so here's how I see it. She's
we know her.
She's young and she's trying to find her way. I think that this party is scrambling, trying to seem tough. And I'm seeing this party traffic in a lot of curse words. That's supposed to be like the new cool thing to do. I don't think that's going to be as useful. I've even heard Pete Buttigieg with a whole bunch of curse words. I don't know who gave that memo. I don't think that's very useful. I think you have to be very careful when you're talking about people with disabilities. And I don't think she was careful. And I don't know her enough to say she's not being honest. But I'm going to tell you, it sounded bad. And I just want to finish. I think this party is trying to find a way to look tough and to show fight.
This isn't the way.
But this is not the way.
Come on now.
I don't think
even Van, now you know it's bad. Even Van Jones coming out saying this is just, I don't even know this lady, but that was a terrible look. And just as bad as it looked is just as bad as it was. You cannot sugarcoat what Jasmine Crockett got up there and did. That's why I had to put the clip on the front end. So you can't run away from this. You see it, I see it. What she said was terrible, period, point blank.
I think the cursing is going to work. I think I've been on stage and I've gotten, a little bit hyped sometimes too. I hope that she will take this as lessons. You talked about learning lessons, that type of stuff. It doesn't sound to me like she's actually taking full responsibility. If that's true, I don't like it, and she can't do that again. She's too important to us to do that again.
What I fear is that no lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making
Scott,
unfair jokes and people are roaring. When you have politicians being vulgar and saying what's the lesson?
We're trying.
What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
But what we're trying to deal with is that Trump has done this and he's been successful.
Yeah.
So when you
No. There is a line that has been crossed when you go and you start mocking or making fun. I'm trying to bully folks with disabilities. We heard the way Jasmine Crockett. Don't go and try to put this and say, oh, well, Donald Trump's done worse. He set the tone, so we're just following in his footsteps. That is not the case whatsoever. You guys have deviated, went on your own path. Donald Trump might do a couple names, but it's not going to be aimed at anyone with a disability. Honestly glad we got Scott Jennings here saying, hey, there won't be any lessons learned until we start coming down on and condemning folks with this nasty rhetoric.
have somebody who does this stuff and they're successful, you start thinking, well, is that the right way? I would like for us to say it's not. But I think it's hard for us to hear Republicans scolding us on it when your guy does it all the time. We are trying to find a way for it. Jasmine is too important. to make these kinds of mistakes. I think she has a bright future. I hope that tonight she's looking and says, you know what, I don't have to do that kind of stuff to get an applause line. She's too important for us.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Once again, we're seeing that anytime you call these folks on the left out for anything, it's Donald Trump, the blame instantly gets shifted over, and somehow it's the big bad orange guy's fault. Glad we got Scott Jennings able to clear this up for these loonies up there that want to vouch. I think one of them even said that they believe Jasmine Crockett, the phony excuse, the half-hearted excuse she made for the joke, the insult, and the bullying that she did up there. And I can't even see how folks would come to the defense of the side of Jasmine Crockett in this situation. She has been wrong, and her mouth is dancing her into more and more trouble as the time goes on. We're going to see some serious trouble coming for Jasmine Crockett very soon. We already seen her, assaulting a reporter, calling for vandalism on Elon Musk's Teslas. The manufacturing plant, she said she, get out there on her birthday and we're going to take him down. I mean, come on. When are we going to draw the line? I believe it's going to come very soon, because if we keep allowing this, it's a very slippery slope. She's going to keep up in the ante until things get very dangerous, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We